Hey friends, this is the Mrs. Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead. Now I have had plenty of requests of videos of just me quilting, so this is what you're going to get. I sat down yesterday after working in the garden, and I sat down at my quilt frame and I started to quilt. I have about a row and a half left, but this quilt is a year and a half late as a wedding gift, so I really want to spend some time on it. It's for my nephew Mikey and his new wife Amanda, and this is a heritage quilt, which means when it is done, there is going to be as many pieces of family heirloom fabric that I can get into it. Even the border or the binding at the end is going to be from a pillowcase of my aunt, Mary Jane's mom, my aunt Kathleen. So this is what's going on while I sit and quilt. Let me give you a little history on the fabrics. There's fabric from my aunt Toots, also known as Aunt Kathleen. There is fabric from my Aunt Gladys and Uncle Bill, my Aunt Jean and Uncle Reg, my Uncle Joe and my Aunt Josie, my father. There's fabrics that represent parts of our lives, like, little Christmas fabrics, or Mikey's favorite hockey team fabric is in there. And there's also fabrics shared in the quilt that I actually bought for the very first quilt in the family. When I say in the family, I mean in that family. Mikey is the third out of 3 sons to get married, and his eldest brother got married probably 18 years ago, and so I made a quilt for that nephew because he had moved to Australia with his wife. I had made a quilt representing of family and of all things Canadian in that quilt. So I saved blueberry fabric, and it is also in his other brother's quilt, Andrew, and their baby's quilt. So I mean, it takes a lot for me to plan a quilt. Even a simple pattern one isn't necessarily easy to plan unless you've got a color scheme in mind. But when it comes to a heritage quilt, you're working with fabrics that don't necessarily go to any other color scheme. So I just picked this most simple fabrics, and then for the background fabric I found a fabric that is printed with all kinds of phrases of love and encouragement, and I just think it's wonderful. So as you can see, I use tape whenever I can, to just masking tape whenever I can, to quilt around, because it's easier than drawing on the quilt or just trying to wing it by hand. So this video is for all the folks who just wanted to watch me quilt.